Running smoothly and at top performance, there are several things you must do on a daily basis. For maintenance, we define daily as after each 8 hours of continuous operation. You must check the engine crankcase oil level after each 8 hours of continuous operation. The importance of checking and maintaining the proper crankcase oil level cannot be overemphasized. You should get in the habit of checking the oil level before each use. Some tips on engine oil. Use only multi-viscosity oils as specified in the owner's manual with the viscosity matching ambient temperatures for the engine operating conditions. Use only original OEM oil filters. For model MD, use any top-quality oil with an API classification of CD or greater. To properly check the oil level, park the mower on a level surface with the engine stopped. Also, make sure the engine is cool and oil has had time to drain into the sump. Allow at least 5 minutes after stopping the engine. Never check or add oil with the engine running. Before removing the dipstick, clean the area around the dipstick to keep any dirt or debris out of the engine. Remove the dipstick, wipe off with a clean rag, then reinsert the dipstick into the tube and screw all the way down. Remove the dipstick again and check the oil level on the dipstick. The oil level should be within the operating range on the dipstick, between the L mark and the F mark. Do not operate the engine without a sufficient oil supply in the crankcase. Do not operate with the oil level below the L mark or above the F mark on the dipstick. If additional oil is needed, refer to specifications in the owner's manual for proper crankcase lubricant. Fill up to, but not above, the F mark on the dipstick. Do not overfill the crankcase where the oil level is above the F mark, as this can result in engine overheating, loss of power, and possible engine damage. Another area that needs daily attention for smooth operation is checking and cleaning grass buildup in the mower housing. While some degree of material buildup in the mower deck housing can be tolerated, a point is finally reached where cutting quality deteriorates and clogging begins to occur because of too much buildup on the baffling and housing. Before raising or removing the mower deck for cleaning, stop the engine, remove the ignition key, and disconnect the spark plug wires. Raise the deck lock lever handle on each side of the carrier frame and pull out to release the carrier frame for tilting action. Using the carrier frame lift handle, raise the deck to the tilt-up position and insert the deck hook into the tilt-up latch on the tractor body. Do not attempt to move or operate the mower with the deck in the tilt-up position. Clean the grass buildup underneath the deck using a scraper and a pressure washer. The next area of daily maintenance crucial to proper performance is the mower blades. With the housing clean and the deck up, this is a good opportunity to check and sharpen the mower blades. Check mower blades for straightness, sharpness, condition of the cutting edge, and balance every 10 hours of operation, or more often when mowing abrasive-type grass or operating on sandy soils. Replace the blades if they are worn, bent, cracked, or otherwise damaged. You must keep the mower blades sharp. Cutting with dull blades not only yields a poor mowing job, but slows the cutting speed of the mower and causes extra wear on the engine and blade drive by increased resistance. If the blade cutting edge is dull or nicked, it should be sharpened. Remove blades for sharpening by grasping the end of the blade using a rag or thick padded glove while loosening and removing the nut, lock washer, and flat washer that mounts the blade. Grind the cutting edge at the same bevel as the original. Sharpen only the top of the cutting edge to maintain sharpness. Blades can be sharpened with an electric blade sharpener, conventional electric grinder, or a hand file. Always wear eye protection and gloves when sharpening a blade. Check blade balance by positioning the blade horizontally on a blade balancer, or use a nail or shaft through the center hole. If either end of the blade rotates downward, remove metal by grinding that end until the blade will balance. The blade is properly balanced when neither end drops. Balance of a blade is generally maintained by removing an equal amount of material from each end of the blade when sharpening. Before reinstalling blades, inspect the lower seals on the deck gearboxes. If an oil leak is noted, the seal should be replaced and the gearbox assembly relubricated. See your local Walker dealer for gearbox seal replacement. Mount the blade with wing tips pointing up into the housing. Reinstall the blade, washer, lock washer, and nut. Tighten the nut to 60 foot-pounds, or 81.3 Newton meters. When reinstalling blades on GHS models, remember the blades turn toward each other, counter-rotate, and the right-hand and left-hand blade cannot be switched. Make sure blades are properly installed prior to use. One exception to this is the 52-inch grass handling deck, where the blades turn away from each other. Again, the right-hand and left-hand blade cannot be switched. Lower the deck to the normal operating position and re-engage the lock levers. The engine cooling system also needs daily attention for proper performance. In air-cooled engines, clean grass clippings, chaff, and dirt from the rotating engine air intake screen after every 8 hours of operation. In certain mowing conditions, like dry grass, leaves, and tree cotton, it may be necessary to check and clean the screen several times each day to prevent engine overheating. It is also essential for performance and longevity of the air-cooled engine to keep the cylinder head cooling fins clean and free of obstruction. After every 8 hours of operation, check the performance of the cooling system by starting the engine, holding a hand adjacent to the cylinder head, and feeling the cooling airflow. If there is little or no airflow, clean the cooling fins as described in the owner's manual. Make sure to keep hands clear of exhaust pipe, muffler, and moving parts when checking airflow. Operating the engine with a blocked air intake screen, dirty or plugged cooling fins and/or cooling shrouds removed will cause engine damage from overheating. Liquid-cooled engines also require daily maintenance of the cooling system. Check the coolant level daily and maintain proper fluid levels in the overflow tank. When filling the cooling system, use a pre-mixed solution of 50-50 antifreeze, ethylene glycol, and distilled water. It is important to pre-mix the solution before putting it into the radiator or coolant overflow tank. Adding pure antifreeze or water into the cooling system may cause overheating and engine damage. Daily cleaning of the radiator screen and cooling fins on liquid-cooled engines will also prevent the engine from overheating and possible engine damage. Clean grass clippings, chaff, and dirt from the fine mesh radiator intake screen. In certain mowing conditions, such as dry grass, leaves, and tree cotton, it may be necessary to check and clean the screen several times during use to prevent engine overheating. Remove the screen. To clean the screen, wash with soapy water or blow out with compressed air. Inspect the radiator cooling fins for material lodged in this area which would restrict cooling airflow. Radiator and engine parts can become extremely hot during operation. Wear gloves and avoid touching hot parts while cleaning the radiator screen and cleaning debris away from the engine and cooling system. Do not use any tool, like a screwdriver or knife, to clean material out of the fins, as this may damage the cooling fins. Use pressurized air or water to clean. Directing pressurized air or water from the fan side of the radiator is recommended to dislodge material packed on the cooling fins. Do not use cold water on a hot radiator. Daily or frequent servicing of the air cleaner is not required. However, you should monitor the air restriction gauge on the air cleaner outlet daily to check when the air filter does need servicing. A red flag will appear when the filter is overly restricting airflow into the engine. If the air restriction gauge indicates the filter needs servicing, refer to the air filter cleaning procedure in your owner's manual. Unless you are capable of carefully following these instructions and observing the cleanliness requirements, we recommend having your dealer service the air filter system. Do not over-service or frequently disturb the air filter. A dirty air filter cleans better than a new one. Changing and cleaning the air filter too often can actually reduce filter efficiency and increase the opportunity for traces of dust to enter the engine. For the primary filter, wait until the element really needs servicing, as indicated by the airflow restriction gauge. Also on a daily basis, visually inspect the external condition of the complete air cleaner system. This is only an external inspection and should be done without disturbing the filtration components. For models MC and MT, a visual inspection of the breather hose running from the underside of the base plate to the cylinder valley should be inspected for cracks, kinks, and proper seating on both ends. A small mirror and flashlight will be helpful for this inspection. On all models, check the Donaldson Radial Seal Air Cleaner canister for damage. Make sure the cover is in place and the cover latches are secure. Do not run the engine without the air cleaner cover in place and secure. Inspect both air intake hoses for cracks, nicks, and cuts, and check the hose clamps for tightness. On model MD and MT mowers, you will want to check the instrument panel function on a daily basis. Turn the ignition key to the run position. The voltmeter, oil pressure light, and warning horn should all operate, indicating normal function. While most grease fittings and oil points on your walker mower will need to be lubricated only weekly, PTO universal joints on the deck and tractor require routine lubrication after every 8 hours of running time. Raise the hinged PTO shaft cover and access and lubricate the grease fitting on the front universal joint. Then remove the tractor PTO quick disconnect tube assembly to lubricate the rear universal joint. Use an SAE general purpose lithium or molybdenum-based grease to lubricate the universal joints. You will need to clean the GHS exhaust screen daily to keep it clean and free of debris. Depending on conditions, you may need to do this several times a day. To remove the grass catcher screen for cleaning, open the catcher door, push forward, and pull down on the grass catcher screen knobs on either side of the screen, and slide the screen out. Use a high-pressure washer or water spray and brush to clean the screen. Keeping the catcher exhaust screen clean and open is essential to good performance of the catching system. In some mowing conditions, for example wet and dirty, it will be necessary to clean the screen frequently to avoid clogging the mower deck, blower, and chutes due to airflow restriction. For improved performance in wet conditions, an optional exhaust screen with larger holes is available.